Buongiorno! Jason tapping in from the beautiful Amalfi coast. What are you sipping on there, King?
Well, we're doing a double-header podcast, if you didn't already know. I'll be traveling the next time we're doing that, so we're just going to record one beefy full-throttle episode to satiate you throughout the week. So in order to do that, I have 2 cups of espresso poured and a bottle of champagne.
Wow. You know, the interesting part about Italy is the coffee is terrible. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Well, they don't have coffee here. They only have espresso. But, I mean, I don't know. To me, I'm not a big espresso fan. So it all kind of just tastes the same to me, honestly. Like, it's not any better or any worse than what I'm used to. And honestly, pound for pound, the Nespresso delivers a pretty damn good product. I hate to say it.
I'm shocked at your simpness when it comes to the beautiful espresso pull, an art form that they I mean, I appreciate that espresso is available readily. Like, it's like you can get one at the fucking 7-Eleven and it's better than Starbucks. I think that is cool.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just not, it doesn't have, I like my espresso a little bit fruity, if I'm being honest, much like my people, much like my male friends.
Tutto gay.
Exactly. It's a little burned to me usually, but I'm glad that you're,
wow.
So are you drinking regular coffee every day, or are you having the Italian espresso?
They don't have regular coffee. I've been drinking espressos, Americanos, you know.
La Longue, which is just the espresso that they let water go through for longer.
I'm learning more about coffee from you than I realized I was going to.
It's no problem for me. It's because we're not complicating the conversation with oat milk and foam. You know, we're talking about strict hard bean.
The Nespresso creates a natural foam. I don't know if you knew that, but other than that, no. I'm drinking it just hard raw.
I don't drink coffee like I live in a hotel, so no, I don't use an espresso. More importantly, let's cut to the chase. Have you weighed yourself yet or not?
There's no scales in Italy. Everyone here is skinny or fat. There's nothing in the middle.
If you come back 10 pounds heavier and you're wearing knee-length jean shorts, I'm going to be a little concerned, but I'm preparing for the worst.
Of course I'm concerned. Yeah, the problem is in Amalfi, the hotel has free breakfast, so that's not doing anyone any favors. Luckily, it's pretty disgusting, so I'm pretty much just using it for the orange juice and the coffee.
Why? I told you what it would be. I told you it was just a room full of different stalish pastries. Was I wrong?
There's more to that. We have in addition to a bunch of stalish pastries that are uneatable. You could say inedible.
I could probably find a way. I
can order eggs however I like them here, and then there's also the option of the English breakfast where I can get beans, wieners, and like badly cooked tomato, and you know, some bread that was made in Uzbekistan in 2017.
Nothing gets my gullet greased more than a couple of charred tomatoes at 8 a.m. You know, that just really, the English breakfast, although part of their culture, is something that I have a tough time understanding. The bean before noon part particularly baffles me.
I've tried to like the English breakfast so many times, and I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
It's so puzzling why you would want to eat all of that. All of that.
I wonder what the history, I've never looked into the history. I'm sure there's like a reason behind all of it.
It's like some coal miners, or, you know, you have to eat for your sustenance or all that shit. Who knows?
Well, as a blue collar worker, I feel like you would understand kind of.
I mean, I'm hoofing it, you know, 10 miles a day. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but I'm earning it, and I'm trying to skip meals, but I don't know. It's tough. I mean, the main problem is when you're in Italy, every restaurant serves the same food everywhere you go.
Yes.
And if you want to get something different than Italian food, it's going to be like beyond bad. I'll be wishing I was eating airport food compared to what the options are.
No, it's basically 4 pasta courses or McDonald's, and there's no in between.
Yeah, that's it. And every pasta restaurant has the same pasta, and it's just like, this one's really good, this one's kind of good, this one's good, this one's kind of good, this one's really good, and that's it. And it's all the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same everything, and I don't know how people just eat cacio e pepe for lunch and for dinner every day forever.
It's called culture, Jason, and
They have a Jollibee there.
I mean, I know, I know that you eat a hot dog every day for lunch and dinner, which is the American version of cacio e pepe. So I don't really understand what you're so up in arms about. It seems like something you should at least understand on a cultural level.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. Like when you go to Mexico, like you can get tacos and you can eat tacos every day, but like there's so many different kinds of tacos. You know, like every day is an adventure whenever you're in Mexico and eating tacos.
Because you're saying the fillings are different.
Yeah, the fillings are different, and every restaurant, the way they do it is all different. And like, do you want a fish taco, chicken taco, beef taco, tongue taco, goat taco? You know, there's hundreds of different tacos, but in Rome it's like pasta with guanciale and tomato, pasta with guanciale and cheese, pasta with cheese, or pasta with egg and guanciale and cheese.
Yeah,
and that's
I mean,
that's
it.
That's it. And then we have some bread with nothing else. There's no salad, and then you eat some tomatoes and mozzarella.
No, the salad is the worst. I mean,
I'm going through it. My body is
even Iron Tummy TJ is unfortunately rejecting this much pasta, this much carbohydrate.
I'm able to handle it. I'm able to handle it on a physical, guttural level, but I'm a man who eats for variety, and that's what's hurting me the most. Like the way I plan my meals every day, it's like, all right, what did I eat yesterday? What did I have the day before?
Sure.
So I'm always rotating it. So every time I eat something, it's new and fresh. And like, all right, I had Indian yesterday, so I'm going to eat this today. We had sushi last night, so I'm going to have this. You know, it's like I had a bunch of salads all week, so now we're going to get a steak. I ate a bunch of steak this week, so I'm going to eat a salad. You know, I'm always reacting to what I've always had, and I can't do that here. My hands are tied. My hands are tied with grapevines. It's tough. Last night we had our special like cleansing meal, so we didn't have to do the same thing over and over again. Like, all right, we're going to like just have like a lighter, like regular meal, and it was French fries and a steak.
Was this at the hotel, or was this?
No. We went to a lit restaurant here in Sorrento.
Yeah, what were they doing? Were they playing fucking Dua Lipa? Like what do you mean by popping spot?
There was no music playing. That was a fucking bummer. There's no music and very bright fluorescent lights because they want to turn them and burn them.
Yeah, it's like when the bathroom at a bar has bright lights to keep the junkies from nodding out.
Exactly.
They're trying to get you out of there after you eat 32 ounces of T-bone.
Well, it's because they're like the busiest restaurant in the city, so like you show up an hour before they open and you write your name on a list, and then there's just jugs of wine. Like by the time you leave, there's I don't know, like 50 people standing outside. You write your name down, and the guy gives you wine and cheese on a toothpick, and everyone just kind of hangs out. So they're just trying to get you in and out the whole time.
Is it actually good?
It was okay. It's fine. We sat next to some people who were from Glendale, though. They're Armenians, so we got to build.
Hey, you got a smoke I can bum?
But no, it was like a guy who was on vacation with his chick and like his chick's family, like his chick's parents.
Yeah.
And you could clearly tell that he was like 11 days into hanging out with his like wife's parents. One of them is like it's like Eurotrash from Spain or Eurotrash from Italy, and he was just like, bro, like, can we talk about anything?
He's like when
do you like socks?
When can I get back to my fucking S550 AMG and my PS5 because this is not cutting it for me. I'm not into the old world.
He was trying to sell us on like this boat. This company, he was like, yeah, this company, it's like a boat, and you go to Capri.
Did you go to Capri? It's torched.
Not yet. We're going in a couple days.
I mean, it's torched in like the sense of it's basically like a day party. You know what I mean? But that appeals to you.
We're going to take a boat and just like cruise all over the place, and go into a lagoon and take selfies or whatever you do on the boat.
You're sounding really excited about this, so continue.
And then I know you stop into Capri to do some shopping at Armani Exchange. I don't know,
Yeah, you can hop out. You can get a new fit at Dolce & Gabbana, your favorite designers, and then you get right back on the boat.
I don't care how troublesome or problematic they are. They're killing it. Their new season is fucking bomb. I was sad that they got hailed on.
I was too. I didn't see the humor in that. I watched that Diet Prada video and I felt nothing but you know,
I was unable to find the humor in that.
and I find the humor in a lot of things, but the downfall of Dolce & Gabbana is not making me chuckle. Let me tell you that. So you're gonna go to Capri. You're gonna pay
respected house.
You're gonna pay €35 for an Aperol Spritz at a beach club that's got rocks on the ground instead of sand. And they're going to be mean to you. You could maybe have a light piece of fish in that setting.
No, we did all of this yesterday. By far the best play. I had the best day. All this stuff you're describing in a negative tone was by far the best day of my entire trip.
Okay, so let's walk. You went to Ches Black, my club that I have over there.
We walked past Shea Black, which had not one customer in it, even though we're between shifts.
It was early. I'm getting the P&L reports, and we're doing pretty well this season. So my hospitality business is booming. I'm not going to let you tell me any different.
I'm not here to knock you. I'm not here to knock you, Shea Black. And I got a great photo for you. You can put it on your stories if you want.
Wow, thanks.
Ristorante di Adolfo.
Yes,
it's an Emil approved spot.
Yeah, it's a famous stop on the Italian jaunt.
For people who are in the food space, everyone is just like, yeah, that's like the only place like I could actually recommend to go to, you know, because like the only place is not like a tourist trap kind of bullshit spot. We paid like $30 a person, and we got like nice chairs.
Oh, that's good. You got nice chairs. That's good.
Well, I mean, you're paying that money to be able to, like, you get a free boat ride from the city. Then you go into, you know, this little cove that fits, you know, 50 people or something like that. And it's just you in this cove and nothing else. And you're just like, so like for $30, I think it's kind of worth it. Like that's how much it costs to park your car.
How many other garbage Americans are there?
It's only rich Americans. I was the most garbage American there.
Really?
Yeah. It was just like shitty rich people from New York who are like, there's a hot girl that you would have liked who was reading Cobble Hill with the Erez 2-piece. You know, her boyfriend was probably I think he was wearing some like swim trunks that had like a picture of like a car on them.
Don't tell me about her boyfriend wearing Paul Smith swim trunks in fucking 2021.
It was not Paul Smith trunkies. He was like 4 steps below the
Vilibriquin?
I just forget how to.
Yeah, we're only the most Eurotrash thing about me is my dedication to Vilibriquin bathing suits.
I like it too.
Well, they come with a nice carrying bag, so when you take your suit off and it's wet, it comes with a nice bag. It never seeps into your other luggage. If you go straight from the beach club to the airport, you know how it is.
Maybe that's why you're so loyal to the Bose headphones, because of their smart carrying.
I do love the way they fold up. It's cool as hell. All right, so you
want to talk about genius design?
You're at the beach club with this hot literary chick in her Erez bathing suit and her corny boyfriend. And
yes,
did you make small talk with them or anything, or is this just a viewing?
Not with them. They were kind of duds, so I didn't make small talk with them. I unfortunately there's a couple next to us where it was like a very, very hot young guy.
Tell me more.
And then an older woman, like an older American woman. You know, like giant Versace glasses on. You know, she could probably lose 60. And I went to go get some like refills or drinks and something like that. And the guy was chatting up Bay, and then the woman that he was with was staring at me the whole time, like looking at me like a piece of meat.
Oh, I thought she was gonna be like, "Yo, you better like, what's going on here? Should we smash? Because my man's gonna hit yours." I thought that was
There was a little bit of that going on, but then what? That's what happened at first. But then once he was talking to my chick for too long and not giving old bird enough attention, then she was like, "We gotta go," and then like. She called some guy, and then a different boat came and picked them up like very quickly, like within minutes. And so basically he was like a gigolo. It was like a gigolo situation.
He was paid for it. And I'm sure. I mean, do you think KK made a donation, or do you think it was just okay?
No. But she was looking at me like maybe she was looking at my chick like, you know. respect game. You also dabble in the dark arts. And then she was looking at me like, what the price?
She said, this short king is hot, but I'm ready to climb a tree on the yacht, and I've got 1,000 euros to prove it.
They don't make them this tall.
They don't
round here in Sorrento.
But the problem would be, Jason, in this situation, she might want the boyfriend experience.
Well, luckily for her, that's all I have to offer.
I would prefer, in a gigolo sense, a smash and grab, but it sounds like you'd have had to maybe cook a shrimp scampi on the boat, you know?
No. I do the boyfriend part of the boyfriend experience. If I were to if I were to gigolo, if I were to trick off in Amalfi,
you would be on the yacht with her, but you would be scrubbing the wood like a working class vibe. But then
no. It's not blue collar. It's more. Think more Jewish. It's more analyst. I'm gonna tell her things about her life that she really needs to hear that nobody else in her life.
It's emotional work that you're doing.
Yes. All the people that are dependent on her financially, they're not going to be the one to tell her the cold hard information that she needs to hear.
Like, hey, baby, you need to lose 60. You won't have to pay me for this dick, is what you're saying.
Well, weight loss is not the only part of it, but it is a little bit of it. Yeah, I would say it's 20%, but it's more of
so basically this gigolo talked to KK for too long, and then they just had to leave.
Yeah, she was like, all right, I need to go to like a different island that has nobody on it, so this guy can start licking my left tit or something. Let's wrap this up. And she basically just did like the whistle, and then some boat showed up in dead ass like 20, like less than a minute. I would say like, I don't know, 45 seconds, a boat that was just like waiting in the harbor.
Yeah, it's like when I have my driver park around the corner. I'm running into Kith.
Exactly.
I'm running into Kith. I got to get this new Wilson collab for the US Open. I'll be out in 20. Check your phone because I can't have anybody see me coming out of here.
Precisely. And speaking of fashion and Kith, while I've been in Sorrento,
no problem.
by far the hottest chick that I have seen on this trip was a girl riding a scooter wearing a Kith t-shirt. Most stylish, chic, and beautiful woman that I've seen in the last few days in Sorrento was Kith gang.
That hurts.
That's how rough the fashion world is here.
Yeah, well, that's why I was worried. That's why I was worried about you, because the number one thing that I've seen from our Italian friends, I mean, they've given us so much, but the long short on the man, you can pick this out from a mile away. The denim short that grazes the knee, it could be khaki as well, but you see it. That is their signature.
That's their signature. It goes right above the knee, and then there's a little bit of a cuff in the fabric. So the product is cuffed right there, and it's kind of skin. It's kind of skin tight. It's not so baggy.
No, I would say it's tight. I would say too tight.
No, it's too tight. It's too tight, and then, a nice pair of Pumas on there with some ankle socks, and then a t-shirt. If you're the coolest guy, it's a t-shirt with the Levi's logo.
The Levi's logo t-shirt is truly a phenomenon among tourists in New York as well. Like I think it's just the most. Are you seeing a lot of those
in New York? Is it a thing that's happening right now, or
for years? No, for years, bro. I think it's just like, it's an iconic American brand, and that t-shirt's probably $20, and it's like, you're not going to wear a Coca-Cola logo.
I've never seen anyone I've never seen this shirt outside of this trip, and I was walking around. I mean, I've seen it a lot more in Rome than Sorrento. Rome's a little bit more of a fashion hub.
Of course. You
will see a guy with some like Puma shoes, some Puma ankle socks.
Well, at least the socks match the footwear. At least he's not.
There's a lot of clashing sock and shoe brands as well, though.
I know you like to mix the Under Armour with the Adidas, but not everybody likes that.
That's a passable look. You can get an 8.5 if you have the Under Armour mixed with the Adidas here.
Fuck that, bro. Fuck that.
So there's some pros to it, but you'll see the an awful Puma sock, Puma shoe combo, all ankle. And then you will see the Levi's t-shirt with just like the regular Levi's logo. And he will be on the arm of a woman that is as hot as Emily Ratajkowski. Every single block you turn down, every street, every.
What kind of haircut we could look at? Because you'll catch a faux hawk over there.
Well,
it ain't nothing to catch a faux hawk.
TJ has engaged Caesar mode while I'm out here.
God.
I'm combing
mode.
forward.
Not Caesar mode.
Caesar is the hottest haircut you can have in Italy. It lets people know that you have a little bit of a gangsta edge to yourself.
That is not true. Bitch.
Yeah, it is. All the baddest boys have Caesars here.
Your hair is too long to do a Caesar. Like, you got to get a weekly lineup to keep a Caesar like me.
No. It's okay. I mean, I make it work.
Yeah, no wonder I haven't seen many photos of you, thank God. You're clearly not making it work, and everybody knows it.
Like, the coolest kids that I've seen so far, like, the ones who are getting, like, the hottest chicks in Italy will be wearing Michael Jordan brand clothes. Like, Jordan long 3/4 length basketball Jordan shorts.
Classic.
Jordan shirt. And then, a lot of Air Force Ones are going on.
Did your A1s?
It's just like Michael Jordan.
Did your A1s fit in the Toomey or no?
Fuck no.
You just brought your espadrilles and your Javianas, or did what? I mean, I don't know what TJ wears to the beach. Just Birks?
Yeah, I've mostly just been wearing Birks. Yeah, it's pretty much just Birks. And then I've got some off-white, like a cream colored pair of Crocs if I'm going to be doing like a water situation, like if I'm going on the boat or whatever, then I'll do that. But otherwise, yeah, just Birkenstocks. I know you don't like to hear that.
No. I wear stocks to the beach as well, but I will embrace the classic blue or black Javianas. I think being anti flip flop is archaic, personally.
No, I'm with you. It just has to be in the right setting. Not waiting on the F train.
Nah. When you're on the boat, though, Jason, I do think you need something. You have to have a non-marking sole, much like a tennis court.
That's true. Thank you for that info.
You need to be careful, is all I'm saying. Because you don't want to slip, but you also want to look chic, So I don't know if a backless shoe is really the solution.
I've got my work cut out for me on this trip. Thank you for this info.
No problem.
But what I've been learning is that Rome, Amalfi, Sorrento,
Ravello,
all these places, they're just these beautiful magical zones that are just the most picturesque views you've ever seen. Just like fig trees growing at the side of the road and perfect lemons that are sweet and the nicest little people everywhere and blah blah blah. But it's been fucked out by tourism so badly over the years that it is like a shithole environment unless you are ultra wealthy. Like, you have to spend a lot of money to have a truly like good time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like every vacation nowadays. Like, that's the same for Las Vegas and stuff, but like,
that's beautiful.
It's a different level here.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I mean, no. I mean, I
know.
I mean, I think most places that are truly paradise are fucked, and like, it's just, I mean, yeah, also like, it's very difficult. You have to spend a lot of money to like avoid tourists that ruin everything, like visibly and audibly.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to look at people like that. It ruins my trip.
Honestly, obviously it's amazing. It's great, but like, because of the location, how crazy it is, the views and the water and the whole thing, like, it's all coming at a premium, of course, and the service is great and all this shit is wonderful. But like, I don't know, when I was in Rome, we were staying at the hotel. I don't know, the hotel was like, $150 a night or something like that. It's like some Ace Hotel prices, and it was all new and nice, and like the body wash smells good and blah blah blah, but it just ain't the same. But this spot, it's kind of like, it's a little bit older. It could use an upkeep, a makeover.
It's not old in a way that you like. It's not a Chateau Marmont old. It's a old.
It's like a 1989 to 1994 type situation.
Do they talk to you funny there because you're tall? They like to do the bellhop like to make conversation?
No, it's mostly the teen. Like every other place in the world, it's mostly the teenagers.
And they try to fuck with you a little bit. They don't like you.
I couldn't tell. I was trying to talk because we were there, and Bae has a friend in from out of town, or who's from Italy. Like, she's from Milano, and she came and hung out with us in Rome for a day. and we were like asking her all these questions, and I have so many questions about the culture and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because we would walk by and there'd be like groups of teens, and they'll be looking at me, and I'll just be walking around and whatever. They'll look at me and they'll like whisper to their friend or like tell their mom like, oh, like how tall I am, but they'll do it like very quietly and respectively. And then like those are just days where I'm just like walking around with like a white t-shirt and some shorts on or whatever. But then if we're going out to like a nice meal and I have like a collared shirt on and I'm looking a little bit better, they'll yell stuff at me. They'll yell like "Que bello, que bello," and then and I'll be like, clearly this is like some sarcasm shit. Like they're like fucking with me. So I was asking her friend, like, you know, are they being sarcastic? And she's like, Italian people don't, and like, she was like, I don't think so. I think they're like genuinely like telling you like you look good.
What?
I didn't really, I know, I was shocked as well. But she's like, I don't think they would say that. I think they're like being Ernesto with you.
I don't think your friend, I don't
So who
think
knows?
KK's friend really understands how teenagers work.
I know.
I don't think this has anything to do with cultural stuff. I think it has to do with teenagers. Teenagers are shitty. They're awful.
I could have just been looking good that day. Who knows?
That's very possible. I mean, with this Caesar, I don't see how that could be, but
The Caesar was not happening. Caesar mode was engaged when I got to Amalfi. When I spend most of my time in the water out here, so it's hard to maintain. It's hard to maintain.
Were you able to put the Supreme jet ski you bought on a boat, or did that have to stay here?
We're having issues with customs at the moment.
God damn it, bro! I told you to do this earlier. I knew this was going to ruin the trip. I told
There's
you.
always one thing that falls through the cracks, and this one was it.
I mean, you can't win them all.
It's a shame that it had to be the Supreme.
It's okay. We're gonna ride tandem in the Hudson when you get back. It's Nathan for me.
But speaking of Supreme and streetwear, we've talked a lot about Black Air Force One discourse and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's the common conversation of the Black Air Force One, that's like the shoe that you wear when you're about to stab someone or commit a cool crime or something like that.
Of course.
And the same kind of energy applies here in Italy, but it's a little bit different. Like the only people that wear Black Air Force Ones here are girls, and there's a stark difference between the girls that wear white Air Force Ones and girls that wear Black Air Force Ones. And it's like literally like good versus evil going on. Like you'll see a girl wearing like a baby blue kind of summer dress. It's like hot as hell. It's like 95 degrees here and super, super humid and all that shit. So like, a nice, beautiful summer dress with some white Air Force Ones, and it kind of has like this more angelic energy. And then you'll have like the 13-year-old girl wearing the Black Air Force Ones, and she's, she looks like she's been smoking cigarettes for 3 days straight, and like she does some petty crimes.
I like
she's had
that.
a couple.
Yeah, she'll steal your
she's
wallet.
had a couple kids. Like it's very clear. It's like in LA or New York, like there's a little bit of mystery of like, you'll see like a normal looking person wearing Black Air Force Ones and like, oh, it's kind of working, but like only the bad girls wear black ones here. I like how simple it is to understand.
I appreciate that your takeaway from a week in Italy and the Italian culture is that good girls wear white Air Force Ones and bad girls wear Black Air Force Ones. Thank you for that astute commentary.
That's just one chunk.
Of course,
information.
one small. I know one small, but I mean, so let's get down to brass tacks.
One small piece of a bigger puzzle,
TJ,
yeah,
because
okay.
when friend of the show Dasha was talking about how pasta in Italy, food in Italy was whatever, I predicted that you would feel the same way, and I find that to be really funny. So go ahead and tell us how mid everything is.
Talk my little talk.
Talk your little talk, TJ. I'm giving you, we got Donda, we got CLB, now we got TJ on Italy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of talked about it a little bit at the beginning of how, like, every restaurant, I mean, when you're in Rome, obviously it's good. Like I was lucky enough to get a little bit of a food tour situation with friend of the show, Kati Parla, who, she's taking a bunch of people out on tour. She was on the CNN show with what's his name, with Stanley Tucci, and she's been on a bunch of stuff, and she's friends with Warham and everything. So she took us to some like legit places in Rome that were really, really good, like some good pizza spots and gelato spots and all this stuff. So like that part was good. and I enjoy that. And she kind of knew, as like an American helping an American, like, you know, here's a variety of things that you will like that's like will please your palate, but it's still like totally authentic. But outside of that, you know, it really is just like every restaurant is kind of the same thing. It's like the osteria, and it's like we got 4 pastas, we got zucchini blossoms that have been stuffed with cheese, and we fry them, and we got a caprese salad, and that's it. I don't know. I just can't do it. Like, it was good. Like, I went to one place, Osteria Z Umberto in Rome.
Okay.
And that was like, okay, this is real shit. This is really good. And the problem is when the menu is the same at every single restaurant, you need more things going on to kind of help bring the flavors out. So like that restaurant had this guy who was working there who was like really hot, and he had a giant black eye.
I'm eating his zucchini blossoms with a smile.
But it's also like, you know, 95 degrees. The sun is beating down on you. You're hungover from the night before. You've got no sleep. You're jet lagged. Last night you ate pasta for dinner and some tiramisu for dessert. You went to bed at 3 a.m. You know, your digestion and sleep is fucked up. You wake up.
I'm worried. We're going to get to this, but I'm worried about your hydration. That's what I'm actually worried about. But go ahead.
I've been drinking a lot of water. It's still never enough, but you know, it's just like fucked to have that. And you're like, well, time, you know, and you sleep in because this timing is like fucked up with the jet lag. So it's like we're waking up at 10 a.m. and by the time we're getting ready, then we got to walk, you know, 4.5 miles down a cobblestone road
Jason,
in 90-degree heat.
You don't have to convince me that vacation is trash. I've been yelling that from the mountaintops for years, and people act like I'm a fucking monster.
I'm just painting the picture.
You're making the case for me without making the case for me, and I think it's beautiful.
But then you finally arrive at the restaurant, the Osteria, and then you're there, and you have to wait. You have to get, you know, there at 11 a.m., because the line will be 3 hours long if you go there for regular lunch. And then you eat, you know, like a bowl of cacio e pepe or something, you know, some hot, cheesy pasta in 93-degree heat with the sun beating down on you. You're hungover and you're sweating like a motherfucker.
This is gross, bro. This is gross.
And then you're drinking wine. Like, I was just drinking just to get through, you know, just to take some of the pain away.
Yeah, TJ been twisted. I'm surprised you haven't gotten a urinating in public ticket yet. Over there.
But then we went to so that happened, you know, like 5 times, because you do that like 3 times a day. But then we went to this place, Z Umberto, and like, it's like in a nice little piazza, little kind of thing.
Piazza.
It's shaded, and it's like truly locals only. Like there's only one tourist table, and they were not American. They're maybe like German or something like that, and they left. And then once basically like all the tourists leave, and it's only Italians, then the place kind of comes alive.
Oh, they hate us.
You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it now.
So you have to kind of let them know that you're like, hey, we're American, obviously. Like, you know, look at my dumb ass, and then I have like an Asian girl with me. So it's like, okay, these people are not Italian. But then I was,
KK could pass for Italian. What do you mean?
She might. But I had the smarts to offer him an American Spirit.
Oh,
he's smoking these like little ratty roll your own cigs, you know, in between shifts, and he's like taking his mask off, taking a puff, putting the mask back on. You know, he's having a time where it's kind of like it's like a little bit of a slag. So then after I do the peace offering of the American Spirit, and then the table of Germans leave, and then it's just me, and then like 4 other tables of like pure Italian ass people, like people who live in the neighborhood. And then he turns the music up, and it's like Dua Lipa, like techno remixes, like MTV Clubland style shit. And of course the mask comes off, like we don't need the mask anymore.
Now I'm in.
And he starts flirting with my chicks, and my chicks start flirting with him. You know, he's making fun of me in Italian, and then all the other
this guy
tables
hot?
He's hot as hell. He's getting my fucking bitches drunk, and they start talking about how hot he is. He's got a gap in his teeth. He's got a black eye, and he's chiseled out of fucking marble.
Damn, this guy fell off his Triumph on the way to work, got a black eye, and still came in to serve pasta.
God damn it. I mean, After that day, I was like, okay, I get it. And then when the food came out, it was like I had that come to Jesus moment with this bowl of cacio e pepe. It was like
It was that good.
it was that good.
Like it was that different than the others.
It was the same exact thing. It was just like cacio e pepe with the pasta, same plate, looks the same. You know, there's some pepper around the rim of the glass, or rim of the plate. There's some Parmesan cheese. You're drinking some, cheap table wine, and you got some little bread that you can pour and dip into it. But this one, for some reason, a player went cross-eyed. I don't know what it was.
Damn.
And then I was like, okay, I get it. And I've been chasing that dragon ever since. I don't know if I'm ever going to get it, but and everyone has that moment at a different restaurant. Like everyone has their favorite pasta at their favorite place. Just your subjective taste.
I would
levels or
say
whatever.
at that point, then it's time to turn around and get on the plane, because it's not going to get better than that. So what difference does it make?
You're telling me, brother. What can I do?
I mean, look, man, I'm praying for you, but I mean, have you gotten some sun?
Tons of sun.
Great.
In Sorrento, yeah, it's great. I mean, like the hotel that we're at, it's got a pool, it's got a beach club, and then yesterday, I was just swimming in the ocean all day with all my.
Isn't the salt water so restorative? I mean, not to I'm not a big outdoors guy, but the ocean, I truly adore.
No, it's very restorative, even if it's just like a placebo effect. I don't know what it is, but also the water is much, the salt here is different, and I think the saline level is higher. You're more buoyant in the ocean. It kind of makes up for the fact
you're floating.
that there's no sand. It's just jagged rocks in the ocean instead of soft sand to play around with, like you're in Cabo San Lucas.
This is great, man.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I'm feeling that my hair is getting lighter, like my beard hair and my head hair is turning a little blonde, like my leg hairs are turning blonde. Mm-hmm. I'm getting tan and crisped up. I don't get hungover anymore.
Yeah, you look like a spit roasted pig now instead of just a regular one.
That's right. And like the true Amalfi, like the kind of Poseidon looking guys on the coast, where it's just like a 60-year-old guy who's like so tan, and he's not fat, but he has a little bit of a belly, and he looks like Marlon Brando, like he's just like the most handsome guy you've ever seen in your life, and he just probably like sleeps on a cot. There's something special about it, man.
I agree.
Like they don't have, because like the equivalent of those guys in where I'm from, it's like guys who like work on the fishing boat in Long Beach, like their name is Red Dog. They have a sleeve of, like a the Vulcan star, and then like an octopus fighting a bow, and, some
it's
type
not
of sublime
quite the same
situation. They live at home with their stepmom. It's not, and this guy is just like, he's fucking supermodels probably. Like I have photos of this guy. He looks like Charlton Heston in 1959. It's just like, and he's the guy who like drives the boat to the restaurant.
These Italians, they prioritize the good life over anything else, and I find that disgusting.
Talking about La Dolce Vita?
Yeah, exactly. I find that disgusting and boring, but other people seem to love it. And from what I can tell on my Instagram page, everyone I know is in Italy or Majorca, and Godspeed, losers. I'll be here counting my bread. While you guys are, drinking and swimming, which is fun for about 24 hours.
Spending a lot of bread out here, Chris, I gotta say.
Well, you gotta eat a lot of bread, spend a lot of bread. I mean, it's a lose-lose for you, every way I look at it. And we're podcasting at off times. It's really been tough for me too.
I'm sorry, Chris, but in terms of tourist trap kind of situations, going to the Vatican really changed my life. That was my Donda moment.
So you're saying Playboy Cardi was at the Vatican?
In so many ways, yes. Like,
interesting.
The Vatican was one of the most mind-blowing architectural things I've ever done in my entire life. And I follow Take Sunset on Instagram.
Okay, so you're saying you were impressed by this space that was built a long time ago.
If you want to distill it down to such simple words,
I love distillation. Yeah, I love that.
If you want to do that in a way that's not demeaning or belittling, sure. I mean, obviously,
of course.
And I'm not a religious man, but I think I get it now. And unfortunately, the one thing I do get is that religion does only care about money at the end of the day, like so many things. But
of course,
over here they have this thing called the Green Pass, which is kind of like the European equivalent of like the COVID QR code scan, like the COVID vaccination card.
Yeah.
And like we went to some restaurants where like they literally like turned us away, like, I'm sorry, you can't eat in this restaurant because we scanned your little American shit and it didn't work. And like we were like refused service at like a little restaurant because we didn't have it. And then we're at the Vatican in the gift shop.
Damn, what did you cop for me, bro? Did you give me the Vatican basketball shorts I asked for?
You can pay €5 and to go into like the museum, the Vatican Museum, so you can see all the like the crazy shit, like the gold chalices from the 7th century, and like
more boring. You can pay €5 to see more boring old stuff. Okay.
Well, like this is the stuff that's like priceless. Like you get to walk into the actual Vatican for free, and you can see like the whole structure. You know, like it's like the size of fucking Barclays, and it's made out of gold and marble, and you know, it's just like these ornate sculptures and designs, and you know, it was truly breathtaking.
I've been, and I was
zooted
on oxys, and I still wasn't that impressed. If I'm being honest with you, I got to be totally honest with you. These old buildings don't do much for me, you know. So maybe it's just me, but you know,
no, I'm the same way. Like when you're in Italy, every cool, sick building is just a church that was built, you know, the year 10. When you first show up, you're like, fuck, look at this church, like. You know, some guy just sculpted this god out of stone, you know, 2,000 years ago, and you know, it's better than any art that is created now.
They don't teach you this at Orange County Community College. This is stuff you got to see in real life.
That's true. OCC, I didn't even get my Adobe Creative Suite hooked up, and these guys are, you know, just building. You know, there's no technology, there's no measuring devices. That's all just, you know, using a sundial.
So you're telling me these guys didn't have a ruler app on their iPhone when they were doing this?
They didn't have a ruler app. I got all that shit on my phone.
So how do you level shit? You know what I mean? Do you just let God do it, or do you
this is the question I'm trying to ask, because they got this shit real good.
Because I went to the pyramids, dog, and I was like, yeah, this is aight. I mean, you know, it's like...
Oh, come on, bro.
Pyramids
are lit. I've never been there, but...
It's not that lit. It's like everything is just a tourist attraction scam. So it's like hard to... You know what I mean? If you're there alone and it's like sunset, I'm sure it's like pretty breathtaking. But when you're surrounded by a bunch of dorks and everybody's trying to sell you a camel ride, it's like, I don't want to even see this. I don't even care.
You're taken out of the mood. I get that. And that goes back to our point.
Bro, I can go on Google, dog. I got Google on my phone and my computer.
I know. I do too, for the time being, but I don't know, something about like I walk past, you know, 700 churches and you're like, fuck, that's sick. And then by the time you've seen your 100th one, you're like, another church, that's cool. There's like a crazy building, looks crazy, sick. But then when I was in the Vatican, it was like,
yo chief, did you cry at the Vatican?
I didn't cry. I had to pee really bad, but I sorted that out.
I know you're a certified pussy, but you said
I'm not afraid to cry.
Not afraid to cry either.
Basically, what I was saying. But when it came time to spend €5 to get into that, they're like, we need to see your green card pass, and we're like, oh, we don't have it. And then he was like, okay, $5. like every place care. They're like, sorry, like it's illegal. We'll get shut down. Like we can't risk it. Like if they get caught doing this, they'll fucking fuck us up. And then, you know, at the Vatican, they're like, yeah, it's all good. We can. If you got 5, it's all good.
I mean, like, bro, that literally sounds like going to a restaurant in New York. Well, let me see your vaccine card, and it's like you could literally flash your like flash a piece of paper with handwriting on it. Be like, all right, yeah, good. Table for 4, please.
Yes, I saw somebody tweet. They're like, they asked for the vaccination card, and they showed him a boarding pass stub from 3 months ago, and he's like, all right, you good.
That's exactly what it is. So the Vatican has been, but besides talking to a older woman who thought she might want to hire you for sex, the Vatican is your second most your biggest attraction from this trip.
I mean that, and also I gotta say the the Ristorante Diadolfo, getting the little private island nook where you drink a beer, you read a book, you take a nap for 20 minutes, and you get super hot, and then you go swim for 20 minutes, you take a little rinse off, then you go back, you have a nice Aperol spritz, you chill for a little bit, then you just keep going in and out of the water.
So how many cigs are we blasting a day? Because I'm feeling like we're getting close to a pack at this point.
No. I brought a pack and a half on this trip, and I just ran out yesterday. So that counts me being in New York and then coming here.
You can buy American spirits there, though, I think.
Oh, don't tell me that. Are you sure?
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah. I mean, you can buy. I mean, I've definitely bought
Americanos.
I've bought American spirits in like Milan and Firenze, so I'm sure you can.
Fuck, you just changed my life,
bro. That's all I do.
It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know, the smoking thing. Like, that was sort of one of the only things I was really looking forward to on this trip. But it's kind of tough when the people you're with, I don't know. It's like, it's weird. Like, if I was with somebody who was smoking cigarettes the whole time, I would kind of be grossed out by it. But then now that I'm with somebody who doesn't really smoke cigarettes, I'm like, she'll smoke one every once in a while if the mood hits. But like, she ain't really Chief and Big Dog style like the way they are here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, it takes a little bit of the fun out of it. Like, I kind of feel like a little bit of a nasty man, like a waste man, smoking cigs at every opportunity.
Has anybody offered you drugs or anything cool?
No, but I did get. Luckily, before we left New York, Bay has a friend who has a bun in the oven, and she's like, "Yo, I got no use for this right now, so you could take my Xans."
Oh, she dropped off the footballs, and TJ said, "I'm punting." You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So I mean, I didn't get the whole bottle, but we got enough to play around with. But that's the other thing. I've learned again for the 900th time, drugs can be addicting, Chris.
Yeah, bro. Xanax, bro. You do a week of Xannies. I get it, man. It's hard.
I was being sarcastic, obviously preaching to the choir, but
no, life comes at you fast. I mean, I remember when I quit doing drugs, I had a giant ass vitamin bottle full of fucking Percocets and Xannies, just like a mix, like thousands of dollars worth of pills. And I'm not gonna say who, but I was like,
you're talking about the frito misto.
Yeah, exactly. I handed it off. I said, "All right, these are for you." And somebody was like, "Damn, okay."
So was I out of town at the moment, or what is it?
You weren't. It was in New York, friend. And I also, I just don't trust you really.
Probably smart.
Yeah.
Smart. But I've been like jet lagged. It's been hard to sleep. Everything's been all fucked up.
Is it weird because you're just like, you're up late talking about White Lotus with people next to you at the restaurant?
No, it's weird because it's 9 hours ahead of what I'm used to, so it's literally just
it's not 6, it's 9.
So it's the exact opposite. So when I'm waking up, it's fucking I should be asleep. It's just like totally flip flop. So when you got the Xans in the pocket, you're like, well, I can't sleep. I went to bed at 8 p.m. and I woke up at 2:30 a.m. and like this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, let me snort a little of this pink football.
Let me snort a halfie, and then you're like, "How'd you sleep last night, babe?" And you're like, "Oh,
I don't even know where I am, ho."
All I had to do was this drug, and I was able to sleep fine. And then the problem is, if you don't take the drug to sleep, then you won't sleep.
I know how drugs work, bro.
You know how drugs work, and they're like, I can't just take Xanax every single night for this entire trip.
Well, I only did it for 3 years and it ended up being okay after I, detoxed.
Yeah, I mean, and I always think about the stories you hear of, Guns N' Roses bass player Duff McKagan or some other legendary Xan users who are like, yeah, I mean, I couldn't get out of bed until I took 40 pills or like 40 Xanax or something like that.
So sick.
You build up the tolerance after a while, and then at some point it's just like, what is even happening inside of that body?
Speaking of building up the tolerance, Jason, Certified Lover Boy.
The brand new release from Donda. And then also Drake put out a record as well.
No, we don't need to talk for an hour.
I think ABBA.
There isn't new ABBA music. But no.
You fuck with ABBA, Chris? You an ABBA head?
I mean, bro, as a guy who like hits and clearly no one can make them, ABBA's probably got a better shot. I mean, that's literally all they know how to do.
Ask the homie Sean Glass. He said, I saw on Instagram, he said ABBA's coming through with the sleeper hit. But we don't need to talk about ABBA right now. We don't need to appear older than we already are.
First of all, has Italo TJ listened to Certified Lover Boy?
So I drove from Sorrento to Ravello today, which is I think it's about 12 miles, and it took about 3 hours.
Vacation sucks. Vacation sucks. Vacation sucks.
I mean,
you know what I did today, bro? I woke up. I had a leisurely cold brew. They don't have that there. I played some tennis with my friend Callan at 8 a.m. I played pretty well. Walked back, hit juice press. Now I'm podcasting. Then I'm going to go see a couple friends. The weather is beautiful. Bro, this is sick. I feel thin. I feel nimble.
I haven't felt thin or nimble in weeks.
So on your torch drive to look at a city that looks like every other city, you were able to digest CLV.
I was, we were originally not going to go because it was the forecast. Dark Sky was saying it's finna rain all day, like thunderstorm, head ass type rain, like 90%, 100% chance of rain the whole time. So I'm like, okay, well, like this day is gonna be a wash. I'll just pod and edit all day, and whatever. But then the sun came out, ended up being a beautiful day. It's not gonna rain at all.
Oh.
So then it's like, okay, so we can go. But I mean, I'm happy we did it. Ended up being fine. I didn't have any problems with it.
Yeah, you sound really happy. Yeah, you sound happy about it. Let me guess. Did you eat something while you were there?
We got some Italian style. It's called pizza. It's
a pizza.
It's like a thin bread. It's got some cheese and some meat on it.
So you hit Domino's in Ravello, which is, I mean, it's probably a little better there. They have the pepperoni cups like Prince Street, or is it something a little different?
God damn it. They did not have any Prince Street pepperoni guys.
Jason drove 3 hours down a mountain road to get some Prince Street in Ravello.
No, I mean,
it's a
Ravello really was amazing.
What?
It really was amazing.
The pizza or the drive?
Told me to hit Ravello. It really was like a beautiful, amazing place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. No, I've been there. It's beautiful. I'm thinking
38 minutes we spent there was amazing.
I think I'm hitting St. Ambrose with Pia next week. It's about to be a movie. It's gonna be 2012 in New York City.
Oh.
Yeah, she ain't bringing the baby either. You know what I'm saying? So it's about to go down.
It's gonna be an Iraq activation.
Mama having wine. So
yeah, Mama having wine. So
what do you got? What do you got again? A Honda CRV, an Infiniti Q. What is it?
I have a brand new Audi Q5.
That's right. I've said this.
It's got 2,000 kilometers on it.
You're a junior agent at CAA, and I'm really proud of you and where you've come.
Well, it was so I could have got the BMW wagon, which I really wanted, but having a long car, you know, driving around in Rome and all that stuff, like parking ain't
not the movement.
Sweet. So it's not the movement. And then or I could have got like a luxury BMW like coupe type of thing, like a $100,000 sports car type BMW,
top
and like
down chrome spinning. Okay.
And while I'm driving around in Amalfi, like that would have been fine.
Anywhere else though,
when it's around other like rich people, but like I don't want to. It was the wrong car to be like a tourist in Rome driving around. Like it was a little too flashy.
I feel you, dog.
So I didn't do it. But it's crazy how cheap the fucking car rentals are here, man. Like,
that's because these luxury cars, they ain't imported, man. That's the local shit. That's the Toyota.
That's a good point. I mean, it's like $100 a day for like nice ass cars.
That's why I hop in the taxi and it's always a $5.50 with the mints in the back, with the Fiji on cold on coldy.
So yeah, we're driving to Ravello. We're down the coast, and a lot of people were warning me that it was going to be these treacherous dirt roads and your car is going to fall off the side of a cliff, and some hot locals are going to have to like pull your car out with a rope out of the ocean.
They trade sex for helping your car out of the sand. Look, I'll fuck your wife, but
I pulled the Fiat from the bottom of the reef, but we have to tag team your wife for 10 minutes. You know this, yes?
I'm going to need a little toppy, you know.
She will have to run me some head. You are aware of this? You are aware of this?
Oh shit!
She will have to run me some dome. You know this, correct? I don't have to say this again.
Don't make me repeat to myself. Oh God, that's funny as fuck. So the roads. So I'm guessing.
Run me some dome.
So I guess the roads weren't that bad. You didn't have to suck any Italian dick. You made it.
The roads were not bad at all.
That's great.
No, it was totally fine. I mean, like, obviously, like, you get stuck behind a fucking Rihanna's tour bus, and it's going to be some, like, tricky corners on the cliff. But, like, people were saying this is, like, it's, like, dirt roads and all this shit. Like, it was fine. It was fine. And I loved, having, like, a brand new, European nice car that's, like, all hooked up, and the air, it's all good.
It makes everything better, baby.
I'm hauling ass. I'm doing corners, and I prefer driving in Italy to America so much more.
You're a great driver, though. I think I've said this on the record before, but you're a great driver. I trust you with my life.
Grazie. I mean, I will take my own life, but never the life of a friend. I will never put the familia in danger as it pertains to the road. But the way that Italians drive, it's just like a true expression of the way they live. It's just like, in America, it's just like, we got to stop at this red light and watch out. There's going to be a cop here and we can't do this. And, you're going to get a ticket for this thing. In Italy, there's no cops anywhere except for like directing traffic. Like, we're driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm passing shit. I'm cutting people off.
Oh yeah, they don't give a fuck.
And if you do that, they respect you and they let you rock. And it's like driving in jail. Like, you gotta earn your respect. There's no laws. It's just it's hood laws.
I get that. I get that,
and I love it. I love it. Like,
you're thriving in that environment.
I'm going through, driving through rural villages, 70 kilometers over the speed limit in a foreign country in a foreign car.
Damn,
cops are behind me,
foreign.
and they're just like, it's all good. I move out of the way. Everything's foreign. If there's a cop behind me and I'm going 70 over the speed limit, if I move over and let him pass me,
no, they don't care.
They don't give a shit. Like, they don't care about anything. As long as you are a respectable person and you're driving with some responsibility, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And I'm hauling ass. I'm bending corners.
It ain't nothing for TJ. Yeah. That little Tesla's not hitting the same. They ain't got those over there, do they?
I saw 3 Teslas. It made me want to hit the test, I gotta say. But I had the diesel. The diesel has a little more vroom vroom,
Of course, no, I'm familiar. I'm just glad you're not on a fucking scooter. The God bless, because that would be a scary sight.
I only saw one scooter accident. I would definitely crash and fuck myself up on a scooter. But so yeah, we're going. I was like, okay, we'll go to Ravello, but unfortunately, I have to listen to Certified Lover Boy on the way as the homework, and she was like, fair deal, gladly, I will listen to it.
Look, babe, it's either CLB or Rogan. Your fucking funeral.
Now that I'm wondering, I mean, she would have rather listened to Rogan, unfortunately, but we listened to CLB on the way there, and we listened to Donda on the way home.
Damn, bro. We
had the AB comparison.
I'm sorry. I don't like to compare them because it seems like a war started by the media. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This continues to be the versus-ification of music, and I just want to say that both are bad, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think everyone can agree that both are bad. It's hard not to compare them and be like, I like one more than the other, because they both came out, within days. No,
that
of
was
each
their
other.
that was their plan. I mean, there's two Drake songs that are good.
7 a.m. Bridal Path and the knife.
No. It's No Friends in the Industry, which is how we feel about.
That's pretty good.
That's our theme song for podcasting. We don't talk to none of you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Me and Jason's my day one. I don't hang out with any other podcasters.
By the time this podcast comes out, check out Chris Black on Throwing Fits.
No Friends in the Industry, and then Knife Talk featuring 21 Savage and Project Pat. That 1-2 knocks pretty hard.
Only because 21, but
let me say this.
I think Bridal Path at 7 a.m. or so. That
7 a.m. on Bridal Path is good.
7 a.m. on Bridal Path. That's the only song where Drake is doing, elite level rhyming.
Friend of the show, Rostam, texted me saying that's his favorite, actually.
Oh, really? Well, musically, most of the songs are all kind of the same. Like, the Too Sexy song that he thought was going to be the big smash single of the album is, it's mid. It's not bad. Thank God that Future's on it. But like we were listening, we watched the video for that last night.
Video's funny.
The video, it's fine. It's funny. And she was just like,
I think Future saying I'm too sexy for this drink, talking about lean, is pretty cool.
Well, in terms of like, like obviously like you and I we're too close to all of this to have like an unbiased opinion on things.
Well, I didn't want to bring up my shout out, but go ahead.
I heard the CB shout out, but when it was like CB pulled my car up and like did my laundry, so like it was a shout out, but it was painting you in a good light.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
All the times I had to make. All the times
I watched the Maybach shirtless.
I made CB check that I had enough socks in my bag. All the times I made CB check that there's enough Marvis in the tube. He had to go backtrack at LaGuardia. You wasn't there. Since we were too close to it and we were like approaching it with too much of an analytical mind and blah blah blah. But when we were in the car listening to it, my girlfriend would just be like, "Oh God, Drake is just so fucking corny." I'm like, "Oh, it's so bad, it's so bad." And then whenever Future would come on, she would uncontrollably. It wasn't a dance, but you could see her feeling it. It was like a subconscious thing.
Yeah,
like that's like the thing that Future has, and Drake knows that, and that's why he's smart, and that's why he's winning.
It's cool because Future also hasn't had a song in years at this point.
Kind of no, yeah, sure, that's true.
I mean, he's like that's what I'm saying though. I think all of I don't know who's next because all these guys are kind of over the hill. It feels like that's what's confusing. But my biggest takeaway from Certified Lover Boy, I think we're ready for a Rick Ross resurgence.
Well, Devil in a New Dress, Kanye and Rick Ross, that could be considered his finest work on a top level feature. No,
agreed. But Rick Ross, I think that kind of energy is what we need. Like Rick Ross doesn't make songs that, I mean, he's not trying to be smart, and that's what I like about him.
Neither is Future.
Good, yeah, great point. So you weren't feeling it.
When I heard the Too Sexy song, I was like, the video, it kind of took me out of it. But then when I hear Future on it, he's just undeniably cool, and it's just like, fuck, Future's just saying I'm too sexy for all this normal stuff, like, this drink, and I'm too sexy for my life. Like, it's just a funny thing and a cool thing to say.
Yeah, that's a real cool thing to say. It makes a lot of sense.
But out of anyone else's mouth would be an asinine statement to make, but out of Future's mouth, it just fits right in perfectly, seamless. It's
true.
It just works. But then the Bridal Path song, I was like, anyone, even if you're a Drake hater, like the thing that people would like about Drake so much back in the day is like he's either doing this take care crooning, which I actually did not like at all, but most people loved, of like these romantic sing-songy moments, and it's super emotional, and it's like basic person emotional stuff, like teens and people with low IQs can latch onto. Yeah. But then he also he's so nerdy and he's so beta, and he has so much time to like write down and do work, and like he's like studies for his homework instead of copying somebody else. So he really puts in the work, in his wordplay and his transitions and his like puns and his all of his like little references. He's really good at it, and on that song, it was an album's worth of those all crammed into one song, and it was making me think of like, why didn't he just do, like, you have to have a direction for your album nowadays. Like, it has to be a concept. Like, nowadays every rap album is a collection of songs recorded over the last 4 years of just like, here's 100 songs. Yeah, I asked the 10 homies what the best ones are, and we put them out. And then Kanye will try to have a concept for it wrapped around, God and his mom, but it's still kind of not really very tangential at all, or it's too tangential and it's just going in directions, and there's no through line. It's not just like, I'm going to put this on when I'm in a mood. Like, you can't put the Drake record on for a thing. You can't put the Kanye record on for a thing. Other than just like riding around and getting it, you can't really listen to the Drake album to do anything. There's no club bangers on it, and there's like a little bit of like, I'm impressed by the lyricism moments on some of it, but I wish that he picked a real direction of like, here's just a bunch of club bangers.
Yeah.
Here's just a bunch of like, for the, I mean, like, me doing like wrapping circles around people, like, because Drake can do that, as corny as he is.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. I think these guys, I think that it's all being overthought is the problem. I mean, I think it's like, the Kanye thing is completely overthought. It's like everything you do is stupid. Because you can do all these great performances and but if there's no songs, it's like, what's the point? You know, I don't really get like, if I pay money to go watch you levitate in a stadium while like a bunch of unfinished tracks play in the background, like, what are we talking about? Like, what is that at a certain point? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? Like, people are telling me that I don't get Donda. Like, I need to listen to it 10 more times. Yeah, I'm like, that's not how music works, guys. Like, if I don't get it,
it can be.
No, fuck that. If you're a Kanye West pop artist, and I don't need to listen to your shit 10 times, bro. You ain't fucking. It's not that serious.
I think he's moved past pop artists, and I think he's moved into performance art. Like, I think he's making a deeper, or he's attempting to make like a more profound and deeper statement with his body of work. And I don't think that he let anybody know that. He didn't give anybody the memo of what he was trying to do. And he was just kind of like, here's my shit. You if you don't understand it, you're trash. And everyone's like, yeah, you're Kanye West. You made Gold Digger. Like, we don't understand this. Like, you have to like tell us what's going on. And like, it's such a despondent, challenging listen that you have to give people instructions of like, hey, I'm Kanye West.
But I don't want to be challenged by music.
I do.
I don't want to be challenged by music. That's not what I'm trying. I don't want to be challenged by it. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be challenged. I challenge myself in the gym, bro.
Challenging music, challenging film, challenging art is obviously not for everyone, and the minority of people, you know, it's just me and Tom Krell who are really fucking with it.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's also like challenging music from Kanye West is very different than challenging music as a whole.
Right.
Like, I don't think that that's what anyone's coming to him for, and I don't think he's necessarily the guy to make it.
Right. No, I mean, it is a transition, a janky transition to move from the normal Kanye West of making, you know, like fun party songs into like God stuff, you know, or whatever, you know, like digital sermons.
So do you like it?
I don't think I would use the word like, no. But I think that, I mean, when we were listening to both of them, like, my girl was like, you know, I don't like either of these at all. They're both very bad, but I like Kanye's record way more than Drake's record, is what she said. I put on Donda, and there was the Donda chant as the first song, where it's just Donda, Donda.
Oh,
Donda.
I'm
and
familiar
like,
with the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
We all know it. And she was like, fuck out of here. Fuck this record. Like, she went into it already like biggest gas face of all time. And then by the fourth song, she was like, it's better than Drake's fucking bitch ass record. That's pretty much, and in a lot of ways, I agree. Like, the Drake record is a better record in terms of just like hip hop music, but Drake is such a cucked pussy that, you know, I don't know.
I would rather hear
a
cucked pussy than a like religious weird like loser.
Yeah. The religious part
that's my thing with Kanye
bad.
is the religious part is just so insanely stupid to me. And like, I don't even care about the other stuff. Like, I mean, the fact that all of these fucking white liberals love him so much and debate him after he brought out Marilyn Manson and DaBaby and stood next to Trump is it's fascinating. Like, with no songs, bro.
No songs.
With no songs, with merch, you guys are that excited about this guy. It's crazy. I've never seen anyone be forgiven by society so easily with no discernible reason. Like, there's no reason to forgive Kanye West. He hasn't put out a good song in 5 years.
Yeah.
The best song, actually, and this makes me mad, and it's underappreciated, is 4 or 5 Seconds with Rihanna and Paul McCartney. That's the best Kanye West song in 5 years. Easily the best 5 years. An incredible vocal performance from Rihanna. We got a legendary Beatle on the shit. They're wearing cool denim in the fucking photo. Like, there's no church. There's no mention of his dead mom. There's no fucking... The only thing missing is Mike Dean.
If any of our listeners forgot that Chris Black was white, they just got reminded of that right now. Don't worry.
Bro, that song is better. That song is better than anything on Donda. Easily better than anything on Donda. It actually has a structure and
yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone is debating that. I think that's the problem. It's the battle of like Donda is not music. It's challenging performance art to absorb and
you're being too nice.
On.
It's not music. It's just smooth brain vibes, and that's the problem with it.
Smooth brain vibes.
It's 10-minute songs, bro. Like, who wants a 10-minute song?
Sometimes I do. I don't know if I want it from Kanye West.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know you want some like despondent techno, but
yeah, it's tough because you gotta like what I was talking about before of like when do I listen to this? Like,
yeah,
when do I listen to this Kanye record? Like, you can't listen to it in the club. It's a bizarre record that has like chants and spoken word and like symphonic solos and like weird moments and like, but you also can't chill at home and meditate and listen to it because, you know, it'll in between those like, you know, string arrangements and these calming moments, there'll be like this like Merzbow style like electronic glitch sound where it's like bah! So like you can't relax and listen to it, so you have to literally just like stand in a room on guard preparing yourself for it. But, you know, when we were listening to it and my girl was just like, it makes sense now why he did these listening parties, because this isn't music that you can play at a concert. You have to play it at a listening party because you can't like churn up to it. You can't like rush the gates and sing along to every song because there's no lyrics. You have to stand or you have to sit in a stadium style seat and just watch a maniac run around in circles while, you know, a rapist hangs out on a porch next to him, you know, next to some SIR speaker rentals, and then a guy who hates gay people, you know, wears like a baklava next to him.
It's all torch,
and then you have to
That's
be
my
like,
whole point.
Damn, this is wild.
It's all. I just can't. I wish we didn't have to deal with him anymore. Like, I wish that I think, but it's actually,
I like it because he's the only one who's still being provocative, but the problem is his provocations are too misguided.
But it's like, bro, the Sex Pistols were provocative, but then they had songs, bro. You gotta have songs. Like, it's crazy. Like, like we're talking about everything about this, but there's no songs. Like, you can perform, you can sell sneakers, you can sell merch, you can do all this shit, but like, these fucking 18-year-old fucking white boys that shop at Kith, they don't care about the music. Like, they don't care if there's songs or not. They think it's cool to, like, for whatever reason, we've been duped. A certain part of society has been duped into thinking it's very cool to like Kanye West and like act like you understand it. And it's the end all be all of like taste. And that's the issue.
It's the infinite jest of the rap game.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you guys don't get this shit. Stop acting like you do. You don't fucking know what's going on. You just want to wear Yeezys and buy a shirt with his dead mom's face on it. Like, for what? It's crazy, dude. I mean, at least, look, Drake might be corny, but at least that shit, I mean, they both sound like expensive, which I like. You know what I mean? It's like obviously like well produced.
Yeah.
But like, Drake doesn't have
40 and Mike.
Drake doesn't have a slap on this shit by any means, but there are songs with structure that at least follow what music should be. It's not meandering noises.
I agree.
You know, and that's like, call me close-minded. Sorry that I like a song with structure in it.
True.
I think it's also with Kanye, you know what he's capable of, so this is even more disappointing.
Just like our good friend Jesus Christ, or, you know, the Christian church that he is proselytizing, he has done an amazing job at selling us on himself in a way that we're like, the music doesn't even matter anymore.
No, nothing matters.
It's just a spectacle.
When you really think about what he's doing, he was living in a football stadium wearing a mask and a vest with his name, with his album title on it, lifting weights and having like 2 Chainz record in a locker room. Like it's all insane. Like when you actually like think about it, it's like this is so dumb.
You know, it's if you watch, you know, like WWF wrestling.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as that of just like if you're into like I grew up like wrestling in college and watching Greco-Roman wrestling and jiu-jitsu and all that stuff, and then you watch like here, watch this WWE fight between the Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what
No, you're right.
it has turned into now. Where like it's not about any of the actual pure art form, the original thing. It's all about the show. It's all about the spectacle. It's about the marketing. It's about the emotion behind it. It's about every single thing.
Except
it's about the merchandise. It's about the photos. It's about making a sign and showing it and telling other people and associating with it. But it's none of it is about the actual music anymore.
But this is a problem. I mean, bro, the Casey Musgrave songs are a fucking dud. Like I'm just like it's crazy. But she has a crazy rollout with like a movie. I don't want a fucking movie from you guys. Like stop making movies. Like you're not Beyonce. Don't make a movie, make an album. We're good. We don't need a movie. We don't need 14 music videos. Like nobody cares about that shit.
I think the problem is, Chris, the people do care about that shit now, and that's what the problem is.
Well, no, here's the thing. They care about it. They care about it for 24 hours on Twitter. No one's going back and watching a music video. People will go back and listen to music. You know what I mean? Like you can't like I go back and listen to records all the time. I don't go back and watch a music video. Who does that?
Well, nowadays the stans who can't afford Tidal will do that.
No, they got YouTube Premium.
Is it a thing where we're aged out and that's just what it is, and like we're doing the modern day version of like a real album is on vinyl and there's 2 sides and you listen to it in your study while you smoke a cigar and have a glass of cognac, and that's what music is.
I mean, I think there's some truth to that, but I also think that like the basis of all of this, either way, right or wrong, is there being songs to listen to. You know? So I think that is, I mean, I don't care what format it is. Give me this shit on, you know, I want a burned out MP3. If it's got a hit on it, I can hear it at least.
Maybe is it the problem that our traditional recording industry business model that has been fucked out and destroyed now to the point is like they have to make all this shit in order to find success. Like you can't make money just making good songs anymore. You have to have a stadium merch booth and you have to have like a video that Petra Collins directs where she's like, oh my God, she copied the Clueless movie. This is so genius. Do you remember Clueless? That was such a good movie. Like,
yeah, there's some truth to
it's
that.
all bullshit.
There's some truth to that.
Even the people that are artists now.
It's just a wild time, man. I think there's some truth to that, though. I mean, I think it's like Billie Eilish.
It's the same reason why Balenciaga makes a video game instead of good clothes.
Yeah, it's all about the spectacle. It's not about the product. And that is the society we live in to an extent. I mean, I think that like...
That's why Venmont would never do that.
No, of course not. How could they? They're too advanced to play those silly games.
Thank you.
Yeah, I find both of these pretty disappointing. And I mean, like I said, the Drake has 3 or 4 songs I'll probably listen to again. But like, I listened to Donda once and was like, I'm never going to listen to that again. I try not to think about it. It's like COVID.
The one, what was the Drake song where it was basically just like the story of his baby mama and all that stuff? Like she's stripping and she's trying to.
I like when he said when he says I'm a lesbian too.
No, not that part. That was bad.
That's fire.
That was one of the cheesiest moments of the album for sure. That was like I think in the 90s I remember being a little kid and seeing a shirt that said like lesbians rule or something like that. It's like very Beavis and Butthead level comedy, which I guess at the time, depending on how young you are, is cool. But there's one where I was like, oh, Drake is like really feeling some like I don't know, like I connected emotionally with him when he was like telling the story of like his baby mama, of like the plight of an adult entertainer or whatever, like a stripper chick, and like she's trying to go legal, and she's got a business plan. You know, she's living with her sister, trying to figure it out, and blah blah blah. Like,
yeah, that's because Drake is a known Captain Save-A-Ho.
He is a known Captain Save-A-Ho, and I like that he was leaning into that and being honest about his tendencies of being like, I'm not able to resist the urge to find a young woman with a gigantic ass and try to change her life with my large amount of money. Like,
oh yeah,
that,
you got a
just
fat
be
ass
you.
on you. I got a little fat wallet that'll match, baby. Come through, come to the bridal path, and let me show you what's really good.
Lean into it. Be yourself. Don't be something that you're not. That's where Drake falters. Where it's like, if he's talking about his, he doesn't have big dick energy. He's got I pay for hoes energy, and if he leans into that, then it's relatable because there's millions of people who can relate to that. On both sides of the transaction.
That's true.
And now you've got something that makes like a really deep emotional connection with people. Be your corny self and lean into it. You are who you are, and you have to be authentic to who you are. And when Drake was like this kind of like the emotional simp kind of cuck guy, and
it's believable.
Like people, that was when people loved him. They believed him, and he was emotional, and he was simping for chicks, and he was being, like vulnerable and blah blah blah, and like that's when people fell in love with him because he was being him. He was being honest.
Yeah, bro. If you've never cried to Marvin's Room, you're lying.
Right. And there's that. And now he's like, well, I'm very buff and I have a watch that costs more than most people will ever make in their entire life. And every hour it says a different sex position on it. And, and people are like, okay, less relatable. Like after a certain point, you're going to get so big. It's the same thing that I feel about like Jay-Z, where he's just like, he was like the ultimate street rapper, and he's talking about selling drugs and killing people and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, yes, this is awesome. This is just like how I want to do. And then after eventually he's talking about like, like different tailors that he goes to and like 401k plans and like his stock options and his Roth IRA thing. And then it's like, okay, rocking with you less. Like, don't know all this. Like, I don't know if I want to hear songs about, like what my retirement plan is.
Yeah, well,
after a while,
you don't have any Basquiat.
Talk to your market,
loser. That's on you, dog. You ain't got a single Basquiat, you little broke ass.
I mean, who else? I mean, the irony of like who else writes songs about investment plans?
Truly, no one.
Other than rappers.
True, no one.
Truly no one.
Absolutely not. Even like canceled.
From the Rolling Stones to Mozart to Blink-182, you do what you do. You be authentic. You talk, we're Blink-182. Like this chick that I want to have sex with thinks I'm a dork. Like, okay, cool. 8 billion people can relate to that.
That's relatable for you, which I understand. And
when Drake is talking about like, like the helicopters having problems at Teterboro.
But that is their reality. That's the thing. Like that's really what they're really talking about. Like Jay-Z, I mean, Drake is a good example. He ain't ever killed anybody. I'd rather him talk about simping for chicks and that his jet is having oil problems because that's like real. Where and same thing with
yeah, that's true.
Like I don't want to hear Jay-Z's boring ass grown man 40-40 rap, but like that's his reality. It's like if he was talking about selling drugs in 2021, it would be like, well, you're lying. Mm-hmm. Like you don't know, you don't do it. You're 50 years old and you live a completely removed from normal society. It's like
good point. That's a good point. The converse selection to that is Jay-Z saying, I see myself in God. That's a selfie.
Yeah, I mean,
so then like what's better or worse?
I mean, it's all bad.
It's all bad.
I don't want to hear any of it, but that's because I think that I also don't know. I think it's relatable to less people, like you're saying, but I also think that it's like, do these guys care? It doesn't matter.
It is authentic to it.
Yeah, it's authentic.
Those are the things that Drake really is doing.
It still works. These guys will still sell. I mean, like people will gush over Donda and say it's fucking genius. People will say Drake's the greatest rapper alive. They make more and more and more money, and it doesn't matter what they do. There's no nothing matters. That's why it all works, because people don't actually care.
Back then, you used to put on an album or a record or an EP or whatever form of music it is when you're in the mood for something. It's like, I want to do this, so I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah.
I have the perfect soundtrack for this moment, whatever it is. Like, I'm going to put Rye on for this dinner party of like my fucking cucked friends who work at my agency, or like I want to have sex with this person, so I'm going to put this record on, or what
I know you like to put on that. I know you like to put on that D'Angelo Unplugged when things are getting sexy. You know what I'm saying? I do know that about you.
Yeah, exactly. Or I want to fight someone, so I'm going to put this on. Or I'm feeling really sad and depressed, I'm going to put this on. And like those things don't exist anymore, and now people are trying to figure out why do we listen to music anymore? Why do we watch movies or TV shows anymore? Just banal entertainment in general, just generic entertainment, or is it only to sell hoodies?
It's only to sell hoodies. Well, it's to sell tickets to shows and bundles, you know.
But we don't go to shows for the music anymore. We go to the shows so we can post the photo on Instagram and get enough likes, and maybe we'll show up on most popular explore page hashtag for the Donda activation at this place, and we have a chance to show off our outfit and hang out with like-minded individuals who also dress badly and want to kill themselves.
Don't talk about sweatpants like that. They didn't do shit to you. Like this fucking hater ass motherfucker. I don't know. I think we got to wrap it up. I'm torched. I've had enough. I can't.
No way.
Yeah.
Chris, do you think they burn garbage in Italy? That's what my chick was trying to ask me. There's a lot of little fires all over Italy, and I was like, "What is this? Are they?"
Yeah, they definitely. Well, no, they're burning Dolce and Gabbana that didn't sell last season, and then maybe some garbage as well.
She was like, "No, they burn all the trash. That's what it is."
I believe
but it
that.
might be the Dolce and Gabbana.
I think they burn all that. I mean, the Palm Angels is still selling. They ain't burning that, so maybe it is trash.
I saw a little palm while I'm here. All right, well, yeah, we can wrap it if you want to.
I just, anyway. You guys go check out, Donda and Certified Lover Boy. I'm sure you're bumping it.
They may already have.
I'm sure you're bumping it in the Civic on the way to bag groceries at Publix where you work, and it's for you. It ain't for us. You know what I mean? But there's also there's this new leak of a song that's Kanye and Andre 3000 that people are very excited about. So I'll have to go listen to that when we finish here.
Yeah, how does he not put Andre on?
That's what I mean, bro. Because he doesn't want to be upstaged. You know how it is, Jason. But look, man, I'm happy to hear that you've only put on 8 pounds and that you ran out of cigarettes. But we need you back. We need you back stateside ASAP. I am going to be appearing
back in a few days
on the Throwing Fits podcast.
Unfortunately, in New York,
the Throwing Fits podcast a day after this comes out on Tuesday. I went all the way to Greenpoint, where all the retired cool people and skateboarders live, to tap in.
How was that?
It was great.
Okay.
I drank a whole bottle of Fiji. James had some weird off-brand kind of stuff in his bathroom, but I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, and please get tickets for the tour. We are getting dangerously close to kicking off October 1st in Atlanta at the Earl. More on that this week, and I think that's it, TJ.
I think that is it. Thank you guys for listening, bearing with us while I'm on holiday, but yeah, I'll be back in town soon, and we'll be back on our regularly scheduled bullshit. Lots of big guests coming up soon.
Yeah, it's
in addition to our other big guests.
Yeah, it's about to be a absolute motion picture right up until the tour, and that will just.
We don't have any barbers coming on this week, but we'll have some other bigger people soon.
Woo! Rah! All right. That's it. TJ, I love your work, bro. Have fun over there. All joking aside, I'm glad you got to take a vacation and you enjoy that kind of stuff. So, anyway, have some cacio e pepe for me, and I will talk to you later, King.
Grazie, Christopher. Grazie.
Grazie.
Sexy booty shirt, che sexy booty shirt, sexy da fa male. Troppo sexy per New York, sexy per New York, Milano, Giappone. Party, troppo per un party, mio mondo disco dancing. Sono l'uomo, sai come ti fa, che fare il tuo giro sulla pista, sulla pista, mi facciano il tuo giro sulla pista. Non veramente sexy, troppo sexy nel mio look, sexy quel che c'è. tutto quanto sulla pista. Sai meglio di me, fammi fare un altro giro sulla pista, sulla pista, sulla pista, agitando tutto quanto sulla pista. Troppo sexy, vado via, vieni,